right, friends, headed down Georgia 400 south, headed towards Atlanta, towards 285. We'll be getting on 285, headed east from Georgia 400 south. Sandy Springs city limits right now. That's where we are at. Georgia 400 runs straight north into the Georgia mountains. Or south towards into Atlanta. This freeway here is, man, headed south in the mornings, it is unbelievably congested. Headed north in the evenings, it is unbelievably congested. Crazy. Georgia 400. I tried to avoid this road at all cost. Georgia 400 and 285, but I figured I would go ahead and do a video. I am headed back home from actually Woodstock, in between Woodstock and Alpharetta. So I just ran over to Alpharetta, shot down here just to do a video. And, well, I was actually working up there, but I shot this way to do the video. North Ridge Road is the next exit. Georgia 400 south to 285 east, and then we'll take 285 east to 78 east, and then I'll zigzag through and make my way home from there. You haven't guessed it, this is the Appalachian American, and this is a prepping channel. It is a channel that my channel is for helping folks, strictly for helping folks in every way, shape, and form that I can think of. A day like today, it's kind of showing you what's wrong with this thing, kind of fuzzy. Kind of showing you this area coming down Georgia 400 and all that. Or it could be on how to make a homemade steam engine and a homemade boiler. Maybe a wild edible, a wild medicinal, or just a talk to encourage you. That's what this channel is about, the Appalachian American. And it is to help folks. My channel actually started out strictly just to help folks in the poorer countries. The countries in Africa and South America and some of the Middle East, just whoever, and it was making stuff, rocket stoves, and learning how and showing folks how to run a rocket stove, a homemade pump, digging a homemade well, and just all sorts of things. That's what my channel started out being. It's still that, but I wanted to target folks in other countries. And I did so. I still do. I get a lot of views in Africa, South America, and all kinds of places. Anyway, coming up to Dunwoody area, Dunwoody, Sandy Springs. This exit, the next exit is Hammond Drive. Now this is like a little Atlanta. It's not little. It's not little at all. But this area is booming and building. Man, they're just throwing up buildings like crazy. It's crazy. You drive into it and you're like, man, is this Atlanta? But it's not. You still have a ways to go before you get into downtown Atlanta. I mean, look at the buildings. It's craziness. Anyway, something else. So, Man, I used to, now I come up through here a pretty good bit, but man, it used to be almost, excuse me, every day for me. When I was very young, when I used to paint houses, very young, do remodeling and that sort of thing all the time. Used to do it then, and then septic tanks, man, pumping out septic tanks, man, this was my area. This is where all the money is. All right, I gotta get over here. Lots of construction going on here. Lots of road building bridges, throwing up big buildings. It's crazy. Crazy. Now, I worked up here for a while about 20 years ago, right at Roswell Road and 285. If I remember, I'll turn the camera over there. And we built, we enclosed porches. They were apartments turned into condos. And what I did was I would go in front of the window guy and just frame it in for him. And right at Roswell Road and 285, the porches all overlook 285. It's funny. It's like, oh, what scenery. I am ready to go, ready to roll. See the buildings? It's crazy. Just everywhere. All right, so this is a prepping channel. Now look to the left at this BMW. Zooming through. Look, that's Atlanta for you right there. Just dum-dums. Dum-dums. Them are the people that kill people. That's Atlanta for you, though. That's it. It's Atlanta. They think them zigzagging through cars, the police can't see them. But see, here on the right, we got a guy on a motorcycle, and here this guy is zooming in and out of traffic like that. No regard for life whatsoever. Now, sometimes I do drive fast, and I will zig in and out just a little bit, not much. I don't make it to where it's dangerous, though. Shamley, Dunwoody Road, North Shallowford Road, North Peachtree Road, all this exit right here coming up. We're in like the Dunwoody, Peachtree, Dunwoody area here. This is the big money. So I can't live anywhere around here. So this is a prepping channel, and so I want to encourage you, hey, subscribe to the channel. You know, subscribe to it if you want. It's more than just prepping. It's encouragement. It's encouragement to walk and work towards a more self-sufficient, self-reliant lifestyle, being more independent. You know, whatever, just making it, prepping for everyday life and for whatever comes. That's what we're about here. And we've got a couple of cabins up in the Appalachian Mountains, up there in the Cumberland Mountains, actually. And it's all about prepping, all about walking and working towards a more self-reliant, self-sufficient lifestyle. Is what it's about. .285 Peachtree Industrial Boulevard, Chamblee. Buford Highway will be the next exit, and 1 mile Buford Highway, Doraville. Now Buford Highway, Doraville, up and down Buford Highway, especially in Doraville, Norcross, a little bit of Chamblee. It's a very, very diverse area. This whole area right here, very diverse. My son loves it here. Just very diverse. You've got white, black, Hispanic, and Asian. Very diverse. Little Middle Eastern and Indian in there. Just a very diverse area. Very different. It's very different from the other parts of Atlanta. Atlanta, Georgia, period, the metropolitan area, is a diverse place. I mean, it's very diverse. But you have, communities that may be, vast majority African American, vast majority white, vast majority Asian, Hispanic, and it goes on and on. But this area right here, man, everybody's intertwined and they mingle. And it's an area that functions really good. I don't know about the crime rate and that sort of thing here, but I don't think it would be too bad. There's a big Asian population right here. Big Asian population, the Asian communities, man, when they're mostly Asian, and I'm not being prejudiced here, just telling it like it is. An Asian community usually has some very low crime rate, lower than any other group of folks. Yeah, more than any other group of people. The Asian community the crime rate is very, very low. And anyway, so I imagine the crime rate isn't high. It might be petty crime, but nothing bad. 285, 60 speed limit is 65. That means I can go 80. What? DeKalb County, Georgia. We're on the north part of DeKalb County. DeKalb County has some very aggressive police officers. Not abusive, just aggressive. And so if you're in DeKalb County, which if you're on 285 headed east, more than likely you'll be in DeKalb County for a long time traveling on this freeway. If you're in DeKalb County and get pulled over, just listen to me. Put your hands on the steering wheel and keep them there. Before the police officer gets out of his car, go ahead and have your wallet sitting on the dash right in front of your steering wheel. This is what I do, period, but you should do this in DeKalb County. DeKalb County, there's a high crime rate here, and so the police officers are aggressive because of that, and so not abusive, just aggressive. So go ahead and put that wallet on the dashboard in front of the steering wheel. Listen to me, especially if you're from out of state. And keep your hands on the steering wheel, and just, whatever. Just do what they say. Don't talk back. We got into an argument one day with two DeKalb County police officers. We were in a septic tank truck. And, oh man, the worse the argument got, the more aggressive they got. And they started saying, okay, where's your fire extinguisher and this and that. And so we shut up real quick because we knew it was a lose-lose situation. And you need to remember that. DeKalb County does not play. They do not play. And that's good, because if they did play, if they were lazy, and they just let people get away with whatever, this county would be in trouble. There's a lot of middle-class folks that live in this county, and they're the ones that would have it hard, because there's a lot of crime in the county, and the police keep it at bay, and so they really need to be somewhat aggressive, just not abusive. They need to be a little aggressive to keep the crime down, not abusive. South DeKalb County, which is the way we're headed right now in this direction. I'm fixing to get off here on Highway 78 east towards Snellville and Athens. But if we keep going straight, actually right about now is the starting of the largest, most affluent African American community in the United States, which is South DeKalb. It's middle class, upper middle class and up. It's middle class and up, and there's working class there, but I'm talking about majority. And then the north part of DeKalb County is basically the same way. It's not majority African American. It's kind of a everybody kind of area. But it's the same way. But South DeKalb County is definitely the largest, most affluent African American community in the United States. I got a video on that where I am cruising through Flat Rock, Stonecrest, and Lithonia and just running my mouth. Oh, if you like to hear me run my mouth, that's a video to watch. It's worse than this. Anyway, we are headed towards Coolidge, Brockett Road, and then we'll hit Stone Mountain Industrial Boulevard, which turns into, actually, right where I got on Georgia 400, way up there. Where I got on Georgia, I don't know if I video that part, but right there at Georgia 400, where I turned this video on, that road is actually not this exit, but the next exit. It is that road, and it is called Jimmy Carter Boulevard, Stone Mountain Industrial. It's actually called South Hairston, North Hairston, then turns into Stone Mountain Industrial, then turns into Jimmy Carter Boulevard. And oh man, I can't remember the other couple. It has a couple of more names on up there where we were. So it's the same road. It's the same road. And so we did a kind of a circle, but man, it was worth it, believe me, because there are lights and traffic all up and down that road. Here we go, friends. We're getting closer and closer to my part of town, home sweet home. Now see, all this area here where we're at, this is where all the area I was raised. I was raised in this whole area. All right, masks are in, everybody is wearing them. Masks are in, everybody is wearing them. That's the sign. All right, so Mountain Industrial Boulevard, I think it's actually called Stone Mountain Industrial. Maybe it's Mountain Industrial. Huh. Anyway, I've always thought of it as Stone Mountain Industrial. Anyway, I'm going to let this go about 22 minutes. And Memorial Drive's up here, Hugh Hile Road's up here, coming to all of those. But I want to run my mouth a little bit more, and I want to encourage you. I know that you may not be a prepper, or you may not even know what that is. You may not be anyone who is walking and working towards a home, a homesteading type self-sufficient lifestyle. But I want to encourage you to broaden your mind, open your mind, have a broad way of thinking. Don't be so narrow-minded. And think about this sort of thing. Think about prepping and how important it is to be prepared for things. If you've got money in the bank, that is a form of prepping. If you save money, it is a form of prepping. It is prepping. If you have insurance, it is prepping. That's prepping. That's all part of prepping. And so prepping is a good thing. Prepping is not a bad thing. Prepping is a very, very good thing. And it is for young and old, male and female, red, yellow, black and white and brown. It is for all folks, all races, all religions. And so I'm talking to all folks out there today. I want to encourage you, listen. I want to encourage you, friends, listen to me, all of you. There's no excuse. Prepping isn't a white thing. Prepping isn't a Hispanic thing. There's no excuse. You need to prep. You need to prep, friends. You need to find retreat property somewhere where you have an escape, where you have a place you can go Yes, you do. We live in a world that is chaotic and crazy. And so why not have you a place? Why not have you a place, friends? This country is in a literal cultural war. You could call it a civil war if you want. It is more about culture than anything. And it's crazy. And the vast majority of folks don't want nothing to do with it. It's just, it doesn't matter what color they are. They don't want nothing to do with it. There are a few that control, and they're the ones that are pulling the strings and causing the chaos. And so we live in a world that is in constant crisis, and it is just going to get worse for everybody, friends, for everyone. It's an unjust system made by man for man, not made by the Creator. The system we live in is anti-Creator, anti-nature, and anti-Christ. It is not of the Creator, it is of man. What we have today, the Creator created what He created a long time ago, and He stuck to His blueprint and wanted us to live by that blueprint. We altered it and came up with what we have today. What we have today has only come about the last 50 years. You could say 150, but the last 50 years it has excelled, and it is going to blow your mind the next 10 years on its technological acceleration. So here we are in a carnal, evil system that was produced, made by man, through man's evil way of thinking, through man's carnal thinking that the Creator did not know what He was doing, was not perfect, and thought that He would perfect the Creator's perfect creation. And that is where we are today. We live in a man-made system. It is unjust. Friend, listen, it is an unjust system. Never to be just. Unless we go back into the Creator's system, we will not find justice. We live in an unjust man-made system. And I don't care who runs it. If it is a human being that runs it, it will be unjust. It will be unjust. I am so sorry, friends. Human beings, that is me, that is you, we are unjust. We're very unjust. Do you think you can do a better job? I doubt it. I'm sure you would be unjust too. We'll see you.